Go. This one's- Hey everyone, we're going to get started in just a minute. We're just going to let a couple other people join in. This is the session for specialist high skills majors. So we'll get going in about a minute. What I'll do is I'll talk for probably about 10 minutes. We'll save about 5 minutes so you guys can ask questions. Two. Okay, I think that's good. So hi, just gonna put this here so I can see any of your comments. All right. So my name is Curtis Vandalite. I'm the specialist high skills major coordinator for our board. Ministry. It's a ministry program, and I'm really looking forward to talking to you guys about it. It's really good to get in while you're young, to be thinking about what you want to do, what you might want to specialize in, and that's what this is kind of all about. And I hope to show that it's pretty diverse. I'll just start off quickly by saying uh, SHSM covers all four pathways. So if it's university, college, work, or apprenticeship, there's a pathway for it in SHSM. So we're going to go over it right now. Let's take a look. What is specialist high skills major? So students focus on a career path that matches their skills, interests, and talents while earning the Ontario Secondary Diploma, OSSD, with a specialist designation. So it's actually it's very similar to an OSSD, but what gets tacked on is the specialist red seal, which is great. It looks good on applications and it looks good to anyone applying. It shows that you've done more in school than just study. You were active and interested in learning new things. And what a great time to try things out for free, right? This is school. This is not university. You're not paying for it. So I always say it's a great time to learn like this. So what are the benefits of our program? I should mention that this program is across the entire province. So the programs are ministry approved and allow public school students in 11, 12. So this is 11 and 12, but you can ask as you're entering grade 9 if you have one in mind that you're interested in. You could actually talk to your guidance counselor about that. So there are 19 different sectors. I'm going to get to those in a moment. You can kind of see some of them around the pictures that I was doing. In addition to specific bundle credits, which include co-op credits, SHSM students also participate in STEM-related sectors. So that's actual additional funding for your child to be taking specialty STEM. So STEM is science and math. And this also includes innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship, which we call ICE. We also have additional help for mathematics and coding, but all this stuff is extra that takes place in their schools, including certifications. So we actually pay for certifications. Let's say if we pick one SHSM, let's say the nonprofit. So they have four different certifications that they're going to get for free, completely paid for. And what they get is a lot of industry experience, I should say. And the networks that we build, each SHSM is supposed to be working with an industry, and that industry is coming in and out of the classroom for those students to participate with. Students also gain sector-specific knowledge and training, and it's great for planning right now, like I was saying, because any way you want to go, college, university, workplace, or apprenticeship, SHSM has an area for you. So there are over 800 participants currently in SHSM in our board in 49 different programs in 24 different schools. So that's 13 economic sectors, and we're adding creating a 14th economic sector soon, and I'll get to that in a moment. It's a pretty exciting one. This represents about a 10% footprint in grade 11 and 12, and a 2% growth of students' participation in the last 2 years. Completion rate has also increased from 54 to 60. You're going to see in a moment credit accumulation and graduation rates are always higher and highest in SHSM students. So it really does keep students on a pathway with interest and a path towards what they're interested in. So here's where I like to break it down. These are the different sectors we have in our board. So we have arts and culture, manufacturing, horticulture, landscape, environment, construction, health and wellness, hospitality, tourism, business, nonprofit, sports, transportation, information communication technology, justice, community safety, and emergency services. And as of next year, we're hoping we will be adding aviation and aerospace to Lisgar Collegiate, where we have a partnership currently with the Aviation Museum. And it's looking pretty exciting. I can't talk too much about it, but that'll be available at Lisgar probably starting next year. And it's already partially running every year. So we're looking forward to that one. But just so you understand some of the things your maybe you are a student or your child would be doing in arts and culture, the different sorts of things. For example, we just look at arts and culture. So arts and culture, I saw a lot of my arts and culture students doing placements with DeSeres, for example. And what was great about DeSeres is they had a residential artist who was just walking in. I could hear her talking about how to get bursaries as an artist, how to move your business forward. And they actually created a project that is award-winning. It's their second year in a row winning an American-based award for their work. They created, if you were in Saint Laurent during the summer, you might have seen brick walls going around with their cardboard bricks. And there were messages to incoming new Canadians. And all the money went to a really great organization. And the students even got to meet the Governor General because the work was so interesting that they were doing. If you look at manufacturing right now, they just recently got a big boost at Earl of March. That program in particular is full every year because the students know when they graduate, they can get a job immediately after if they wanted. There's also they have CNC machines, they have milling machines. They're doing amazing stuff right now with a partnership with the unions that are running manufacturing and tool and die trades. Horticulture and landscaping, we got one at Sir Guy. I believe we're the only one in Ottawa with a horticulture landscaping, which is great. Right now, they are growing seedlings. They're planning on selling them around Christmas time. They are also building a aquaponics lab, and they're doing a competition. So we're talking rows of water with sort of lily pads on top where the plants are growing above. And above, you'll see a tank full of fish, and the fish sediment goes to the bottom and feeds the plants. So it's this really amazing large room that they're currently redoing and updating it. So that's really cool too. I'm just really quickly, the hospitality and tourism, I just sent them on a trip to Hummingbird Chocolate, where they learned how to make chocolate, and they are doing that now in their class because they learned that. They also visited two different restaurants, one major company that delivers large meals for like feasts and things like that. They also got to see a small restaurant work. So they're always involved in business itself. Really quickly, ICT, Information Communication Technology at Osgood has they just released their first ever game on Steam. Steam, if you don't know, is the #1 place to purchase video games for PC. And they just released their first game free online. You should definitely check it out. It's great. They also have I believe, a satellite orbiting from that they received through a NASA program that they're monitoring. A lot of other ICTs are visiting places, creating films. There's a film we have teachers in right now, for example, at OTSS, the teacher has 9 years experience in the filmmaking. So that really gets the kids going when they know that their teachers have an actual background. Most of these teachers that you're looking at here during these programs are that. They were part of the world. I myself for example, was a graphic designer for 8 years, and now I'm a teacher. Let's see here. Okay, that's for live. What is the game called? Good question. The game is called, I can't remember now. Oh, Johnny's, I think it's called Watch Johnny Run. Yeah. So it's a platform jumper, and they used they have actually a partnership with a gaming organization that actually provides the software for them to use. So they're using I can't remember the name of the gaming technology they're using, but it's really cool. Good question. So I'm going on a little bit too long about the cool things that we're doing in our programs, and I'll quickly point out, if your students or yourself as a student are in SHSM, there's extras. So each SHSM has funding every year to purchase equipment. So for example, we had one year, just last year, we put an Alienware laptop in every school, Dremel 3D printers, Cricut machines, podcasting equipment, green screens, microbits, Raspberry Pis. These are all mini computers, and VR gear is the newest one we're trying to get in right now. So lots of new technology being used. How can we find out which schools provide SHSM programs in sports? That's an excellent question. If you go to OCDSB.ca, actually, I'll just quickly, I'll go there after, as soon as I'm done this. So if I just go to the next one, I just want to show you the success rate of SHSM growing. You can see that the province has consistently been putting money into it. We're one of the largest funded programs in the ministry, definitely in this board. So the funding is right there. You can also see job skill programs, like the rates are much higher, 6.1% higher with SHSM students. Grade accumulation is always higher with a SHSM student than anyone else. So that's across the board, across our entire province. The biggest impacts in credit completion you can see here too. Pretty much every time a student is in a SHSM, they're probably getting more credits than the average student. So I'm going to just quickly go through this. I'm going to skip over because I had a good question from somebody. Someone asked, how do I know about, can't really see this. Give me a second here. I'm going to move this down just a bit. So let me, there we are. Okay, so if I take this and I'm going to go to, it's still just, there we go. So if you go to OCDSB.ca/SHSM, you'll go to our school board website for SHSM. And if you want to see what schools offer which SHSMs, here's a nice little button I like to press, SHSM Programs and Location website. If I click that, well, the question I got was, how do I find out about sports? Which schools offer a sports SHSM? I should also mention, cross-boundary is acceptable for if you want to go to a SHSM. Let's say sports. Let's take a look. So if I click on sports, you can see high performance sports is offered at Gloucester, and Woodruff offers a sports and recreation. You can find out more about what these programs look like by pressing the plus sign. And what's also nice about this is, let's say you don't attend Woodruff and you really want to be part of this program. You can actually ask for a cross-boundary transfer for any SHSM that's not offered at your school. So if one of the 13 sectors or 14 sectors aren't available, you can always ask for that. I think I got about a minute left. Feel free to throw out questions if you have them about SHSM. Happy to answer them. And I really hope you consider thinking about talking to your guidance counselor when you enter grade 9 about SHSM. It's never too early to start asking about it, especially if you have an interest. And what's great is it's not a big deal. If you want to switch out from one to another later on, you don't like the sports one, you think, I wish I would have gone into transportation, no problem. That can be done too. How can you find out which? Okay, can we have the slides? Yeah, I will be handing out the slides. Definitely. Good question. Any other questions? No? I should mention, the art behind here is from the Arts and Culture SHSM students. These are window frostings that they did for a couple of different companies. They did this for their windows at the Saint Laurent Mall. Great artists. Um, yeah, someone you mentioned the sports. What is the sports? Which one of the most popular and needed for the marketplace? Oh, that's an excellent question. Which one is most popular and needed for the marketplace? The most popular ones right now are probably arts and culture. If you're aware of uh, uh, of Canterbury, Canterbury as an art school is running as an art school because it's a SHSM program. So that's a good example of that. Markets places, like I said, manufacturing is crazy. We have companies coming to our schools to hire. It's so interesting. Uh, I'm constantly in talks with aviation right now, and they are desperate for so many different types of employers. So that's one of the reasons we're starting this here in Ottawa. Good questions. How to find out more about the aviation aerospace program? Excellent question. They're putting it through right now. It'll be out. We should know if it's accepted by January. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'm happy to give you a little bit more info on it. It will be in partnership with with the Aviation Museum, where we're probably going to have a small mechanics area and a donated orange plane, orange helicopter that they're giving us to work on. So there's the mechanics part. We also have an academic part as well. So for example, we tested it out and the students had to do VR simulation of landing a helicopter. They had to do CPR. This is all in one day. They had a plane zooming across, dropping a package. The package would bounce, and they had to figure out the distance and the safe, what would be safe for that package to roll. Things like that. So it's a really cool program that's being built, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with everybody. Any other questions? Kanza, is this when I normally stop, or should I keep going? Transportation. Yeah, so the transportation schisms are also really interesting. Um, I believe we have a new one that we're hoping to open pretty soon at Bell, and it'll be a small engines. So they're looking at dirt bikes, they're doing dune buggy races. It's a really cool program, really interesting teacher who's got a lot of passion for it. That's the other thing. Our SHSM teachers, to be a SHSM teacher, you need to be passionate about what you're doing. So you're always getting a teacher who's really into into that field. They've probably worked in that field, and that's SHSM. What about boundaries? Will transportation be provided? Uh, it is quite difficult now with transportation. Right. So if you go to another school, you'll be getting you can then, once you're at that school, you can apply for a bus pass to get there. Yeah. So that's all covered. What types of things are included in the nonprofit schism? Good question. Nonprofit schisms are pretty different. They really vary depending on what teachers involved in. So let's take a look, for example, nonprofit. We have quite a few. So we have the one at Lisgar is called Applied Research. So this one is heavily involved with the University of Ottawa and what's the other one that they're working with? The Government of Canada. So these students are doing research with and for them. So it's a pretty intense one, but a very interesting one that I usually get to visit a couple times a year. Brookfield's community nonprofit is a really interesting one too. That one they're looking more at an actual nonprofits, uh, creating opportunities for those nonprofits. Um, we also have the social justice at Glebe. The social justice one is really interesting. They usually, when you get together as a club, then they decide what nonprofits they're going to focus in on, and they really dig in. This program is building up right now. It's a pretty cool one. Uh, yeah, good questions. Oh, okay. So I see a lot of new people here. So I'm going to restart my presentation. Yeah, okay, here we go. Shoot, shoot, shoot. So my name is Curtis Vandelite. I'm the, let's see here, stop, set, start. So my name is Curtis Vandelite. I'm the specialist high skills major um, coordinator for the school board. This is a program that is covered across the province. Every school board has specialist high skills major. It's also one of the programs with the most funding. That's what I like to start off with. So what is special high skills major, SHSM? The students are focused on a career path that matches their skills, interests, and talents while earning their Ontario secondary school diploma. So with a specialist designation, that actually gives you a different diploma than the regular OSSD. So OSSD is a regular diploma. Specialist diploma, you have to do all these extra things while you're part of SHSM, which looks fantastic on applications more than other programs because it shows you you can participate in school and you're not just doing your schoolwork, you're involved in other things and you have a focus. So I like to say it's free to learn here. Even if you're not interested in, let's say, hotel and tourism, I have so many students taking it because they're getting free opportunities through it. So they might go on to a completely different career, but this is all free, right? High school is free to learn. So let's take a look here. So SHSM is an 11 and 12 program. I know you're grade 8 parents and students here, which is awesome. But when you enter grade 9, you can tell your guidance counselor that you're interested in SHSM, and they can actually help you with your pathway. We have 19 economic sectors. We're hoping to add actually 18. We're hoping to add another one next year. I'll talk about that in a moment. It's a bundle of credits that are around the type of SHSM you're taking. There's cooperative education credits. So the students are in co-op, but they're taking co-ops that are in relation to their SHSM. So no one should be taking any co-ops that don't have anything to do with what they're doing in their SHSM. So that's always a benefit. STEM-related sector activities. There's a lot of this, which is free. We do innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. This is where we bring in a partner from the industry, and they work with us to solve one of their problems. It's a really amazing opportunity and a really cool skill for students to have. We also do mathematical and coding. So this is, again, extra. We offer coding workshops that are free, mathematical literacy opportunities. And yeah, I'll just move on from there. Students earn industry recognized certification and training. So free certifications we're talking about. So if you need your WMIS, you need your first aid, these are all, each type of SHSM has their own grouping of certifications that they need to take. And this is just one of them. Sorry, for example, you might have heights training. You might have, I have some students doing ATV training, how to use an ATV when they're in the woods. A lot of different types of training that is free and paid for with this program. Students also gain sector-specific partnerships from industry being in the school regularly for this. We have over 800 students participating in 49 programs in 24 different schools in 13 economic sectors. We're hoping to add one more to make that 14. This represents about a 10% footprint in grade 11 and 12. So lots of opportunities for your student for your child or you to join these SHSMs. Completion rates are about 60% right now. The average is 63. And you're going to see in a moment how SHSM pretty much always means the students are going to graduate with more credits than the average student. So these are the different sectors. We have arts and culture, manufacturing, horticulture, landscape, environment, construction, health and wellness, hospitality and tourism, business, nonprofit, sports, transportation, information communications technology, justice, community safety and emergency services. And we're hoping to add next year aviation and aerospace, which will be offered at Lisgar Collegiate. So aviation and aerospace is brand new. We're hoping to offer it next year. It'll be in partnership with the Aviation Museum, where we're already doing work with them. And we will be having a section of the hangar to work in, I believe a orange helicopter for the students to work on and test. And looks like we're looking on a project where they will be digitizing the inside next year. So that's pretty exciting. Just kind of going over here, information communication technology right now. I have a school who just produced their first ever Steam game. So it took a year for them to put this game together using high-end gaming technology, 3D technology, and it's great. It's doing well. The one has an orbiting satellite that the NASA that they put their name in. So they actually get to study the data from there. A lot of video editing and a lot of we have usually a film competition at the end of the year. Things like for example, in manufacturing, that's so popular that it's filled because a lot of these students end up getting jobs right after, and they're really cool jobs. The students are making these little metal projectiles. Uh, they're making cars. They're making just items that they can use in with other things too. It's a really interesting program at Earl of March. We have a brand new construction has just been redone. I just visited. They built 3 mini homes with air conditioning, electricity, and plumbing, all inside these homes. And I believe they're going out to a field trip next week to check out what it's like to be an operator, crane operator. So that's really neat too. Our arts and culture is actually award winning. If you think of Canterbury, you're thinking about arts usually, and Canterbury is Canterbury because of SHSM, because they have an arts and culture SHSM. So what they're currently winning awards through the summer with their projects. If you were in Saint Laurent, you might have seen bricks, paper bricks going all the way around in a box with nice things written to new Canadians. This won them awards. They won awards in the past. They got to meet the Governor General. She was so interested in this project. And what's cool is, the industry. When the industry came, and I can hear them talking to students, this is how you get a bursary. This is how you want to approach a client. So all this stuff, I took art. I didn't know these things until I was partway through being a graphic designer for 8 years. So it's a lot of I know I would have loved to have been in a SHSM if I had that opportunity when I was in high school. Yeah, so let's see here. Oh, we still got time? We still got time. Okay, so the justice and community safety, that's if you're interested in nursing, if you're interested in emergency services, if you're interested in firefighting. I visited SRB a little while ago, and I saw them literally on the floor crawling as if there was smoke above them. So they're doing some pretty cool stuff there too. But I wanted to quickly go on to mention that SHSM is very well funded, usually have better equipment than the average classrooms. For example, last year we put an Alienware high-end laptop in every class, Dremel 3D printers, Cricut machines, podcasting equipment, green screens, microbits, VR gear. That was just an extra because these teachers also have opportunities to order more. Success rate, you can see the funding has been going up with the rise of SHSM, and this doesn't seem to be stopping. I like to point out the 5-year graduation rates for job skill programs. You can see SHSM is the highest. It's got 6.1 percentage points higher. Not just that, grade 11 credit accumulation. As you can see, I was pointing it out, 90%. So those enrolled in SHSM always have better credit accumulation than the average student. Biggest impact also is in the college and workplace. You can see university. You can see overall SHSM students are doing better. So I'm just going to answer some of the questions I see here on the side really quick. But SHSM is field trips. SHSM is getting your hands dirty sometimes. So we got trades all the way to foods, all the way to environment. But for example, I sent some students to go check out chocolate making at Hummingbird Chocolate, and they came back and said, "Can we make chocolate?" Yeah, you sure can. So the students are also guiding what we purchased for them to use and make. I had another class that checked out ice cream making, and I bought them ice cream machine makers, not makers, but the tools to make ice cream from scratch. So I'm just going to look over some of the questions here. Um, oh, this is a good question from the last group. I'll just answer. What about cross boundaries? So um, if the SHSM you want to attend, say, I'm just going to back out here. And I'm going to show you this actually. I'm going to show you the website. So if you go to, I'm going to type it in here so you can see it, ocdsb.ca/SHSM, takes you to the SHSM website. And my favorite button is over here, SHSM programs and location websites. So great way to find out if the SHSM you want is in your area. So let's say you're interested in a business SHSM. There's only 2 schools that offer business SHSMs. So Canterbury and Earl of March. So for example, if you wanted to attend Earl of March's, if you want to attend a business SHSM, let's say, then by doing so, you could, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Right. So a business SHSM, if you were at, let's say, Ridgemont High School and you wanted to attend an entrepreneurship or business SHSM, you can cross boundary to go to that school. So you can attend Canterbury or Earl of March. It would be your choice, depending on what type. So if you press on the plus sign, you actually see here's a description of what the differences are between the 2 programs, even though they are both business. So that's pretty neat. Let's see. I see another couple of questions here. Oh, what happened to my questions? Yeah, bring that back up. There we are. What types of things are included in nonprofit SHSM? Is that oh, that was a while ago. Okay. How can we apply to these programs? And is there a deadline? So you want to apply to them usually in grade 10. That's usually when you want to apply. And I'll show you a very easy way to do that. So we were having the problems where, some schools might not like losing students. So we actually created a button here, form you can fill out. Where is it here? Supplementary option sheet. So if you hit this, what is a registration process? You can actually sign up for whatever SHSM you want and whatever school you want. And that way you don't even need to talk to your school right away. They'll contact you. So that is a really cool option. Good question. Can we attend more than one SHSM program? Good question. No, but you can switch between SHSM. So if you don't like the SHSM you're doing, there's no problem with switching to another. It's all free. And I believe the Catholic board actually, just to say if you're going to Catholic, I believe theirs, you can't. They don't let you switch. But ours, we let you switch anytime. No problem. Depending on your guidance counselor. Good questions. My son is interested in digital arts program. Awesome. I'm a former graphic designer, which is not available at our high school. We have been advised that our out-of-boundary transfer for the SHSM is very unlikely. Does the form you just showed us go around? It does, Andrea. So like I said, schools don't like losing students. So they're telling some things that might not be quite truthful. The truth is you can use that option sheet and get there. And let's just check it out. There's quite a few arts and culture SHSMs available. The only thing I'm going to say is, let's say an arts and culture SHSM is full, like Canterbury's is almost full. So the Canterbury students get to go there first. But check this out. If I go to, right here, if I go to programs and locations, let's just check out arts and culture. Well, you said digital art. So there's arts and culture. You can see many arts and cultures we have. So these ones here are doing animation. They're doing 3D design. They're doing graphic design. They're doing, I'm not sure if I mentioned animation, game design. Most of these are doing that. I would say Canterbury might be the exception. They're a little behind on the digital part. So maybe that's not even where you really want to go. If I were your son, some of the coolest ones too, check this out. If I go to, I know it's an ICT, it might sound a little more intimidating, but if we go to Osgood's, for example, where is it here? Osgood is the school that just built their first ever Steam game. They're the ones who have orbiting satellite. They're the ones who are doing animation regularly. So they often have animators in there from the industry. It's a really cool program run by a very passionate teacher. So I should say, what's great about SHSM, your kid, your child, or you are probably going to be involved with a very dedicated teacher that probably had experience before, like myself. I used to be a graphic designer. Um, Good questions. Can grade 10 students attend a SHSM? No, but you can prepare them. Grade 10 is a perfect time to talk to your guidance counselor. Say, I want to go in a SHSM. They'll get you in there. That way you kind of book a spot in case there's a lot of people going for that one. But you can get, let's see. But yeah, I would definitely in grade 10 talk to your guidance counselor and say, I want to take this SHSM. And if they say, no, we don't want you leaving the school, remember, there's that form. You can that's how you cross boundary. The questions. Which area is focusing on programming skills? My son wants to be a software programmer. Excellent question. So we have quite I'm going to stay in the ICT world, and I'm going to point out where's West Carleton. West Carletons and South Carletons are very, I think specifically West. Let's see here. This is media imaging engineering, computer science. Yeah, so West Carleton's is more of a computer science and engineering. I just bought them soldering tools and smoke sucks the smoke in. So they are definitely doing breaking down computers, building them. They're doing coding. I haven't seen too many of their products when they're finished, but it is a really great program. It's also a smaller program, so it's nice. The students get to know each other really well, and it's a cool community out there. Yeah, great question. Back over here. Um, And yeah, I'm just going to quickly point out that there we also have reach ahead opportunities in SHSM. So being part of SHSM, you're getting access to other areas that you might have to normally apply for. So reach ahead opportunities are automatic with SHSM. So this may include auditing a college university class, attending campus tours, interviewing skilled trades people, participating in visits of skilled competitors, attending conferences. I sent a teacher and a bunch of students to a video editing conference in Toronto just I think in September I did. So yeah, really cool. The reach ahead opportunities. The certifications, like I said, first aid, CPR. It really depends on what you're doing. But you know, if you're doing auto mechanics, you're probably going to be doing some auto mechanics certifications. But keep in mind, free, free. One of the most popular certifications is probably through hospitality and tourism because you can get your serving. We pay for you to be trained how to serve. So a lot of students love that because they can get a job. It's funny, an academic school like Lisgar, for example, a lot of students take this because it's a great opportunity to work in that field while they're going to university later. So it's pretty neat. Let's see. What's the name? Okay. Any other questions? Feel free to put them in there. If not, I'm going to restart my presentation because I think I'm about up at the mark. All righty. You can feel free to ask me questions too. We have access to the slides. Yeah, the slides will be handed out after. Good question. Oh, thanks, Bayo. Appreciate it. Hope to see you in or your son and in a SHSM. Can they do 1 year or 2 years? I assume you're wondering if that means they can do it in grade 11 or grade 12. It's actually a grade 11 and grade 12 program because they're going to need to have credits accumulated from grade 11 and grade 12, and they need that time to get a lot of their certifications and things like that. Good question. Excellent question, Eva. Yes, I am missing a tooth, but I should be getting a new one soon. Can you do a SHSM with an AP program? Yes, you can. Yeah, a SHSM goes along with any other program. I highly, highly, highly recommend SHSM plus OEAP because OEAP will cover so much stuff for you, including transportation, equipment, more certifications. So a lot of our SHSM students are also OEAP students. Yep, a good question. Yeah, my brother teaches AP biology, and he runs a SHSM in the Catholic board in Sudbury. Okay, I think I'm going to restart because the questions stopped for now. Um, so yeah, I'll start right now. So hi everyone, my name is Curtis Vandalite, if you haven't already been watching, and we're going to be talking about specialist high skills majors in our board. So this is a program that's across every single board in Ontario. I like to tell people that I work very closely with the Catholic board. We're partners, and all our programs are great. But we're going to talk about my programs, and I think my programs are cooler. So let's talk about them. And if I could just look at that, it's stuck. Here we go. So students focus on a career path that matches their skills, interests, and talents while earning their Ontario Secondary School Diploma with a specialist designation. So it's not just a high school diploma they're getting. Sometimes it's called a red seal. I wouldn't call it a red seal because red seal is really more for tradesmen who spend years to get that. But it is a very special diploma that universities, colleges, business, it looks really good because it means you didn't just spend time doing your homework. It means you did other things and you're invested. Um, so yeah, I always like to point that out. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the questions. I'll try to answer as I go through, or I'll answer them at the end of this take through here. So the program is ministry approved, as I pointed out. It's one of the largest funded programs in Ontario. It allows public school students in grade 11 and 12 to customize their education and explore future careers in all post-secondary pathways by focusing on their learning in 19 economic sectors. In our board, we have 13, probably going on 14, and I'll show those to you in just a minute. In addition to specific bundles of credits, because this is a credit-heavy course program. When I say heavy, I mean it's focused on credits that are going to be have to do specifically what they're taking. So usually that's great. Students like that that what they're taking means it's going to affect what they're doing later. So which includes also cooperative education. So students aren't just taking a co-op and a gas station or something here. The students, if they're in environment, they're in an environmental location. If they're in transportation, they're probably in an automotive shop. So all the co-op experiences need to be connected to their SHSM. STEM related sector opportunities. So we're paying for them to learn about science and technology in various different ways. There's also the innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship, which students get to meet with business and industry. And what they do is they usually give a problem that they're having, and the students go through a process and try to help them. And you wouldn't believe how many times I've seen a business person. I remember a nonprofit, for example, paused with students were talking, took out her cell phone, walked outside, came back to my students and said, "You solved our problem." The problem that the nonprofit couldn't answer. So it's amazing what this training does, what it does for confidence. And I also want to point out, we also do extras in mathematics and coding. Students also earn industry recognized certifications and training. So we're talking WHMIS, first aid, and it really depends on what you're doing, right? So oftentimes, for example, I had an art class who was doing a mural that was high up. So they had to get ladder safety training. So these are just so many different certifications, all paid for by SHSM. All you or your child has to do is be enrolled in a SHSM. So what I'll also point out is they also gain sector partnership experience, which we were just talking about. We have over 800 students participating in 49 programs in 24 schools in 13, going on 14 economic sectors. This represents just about a 10% footprint in grade 11 and 12 students. This is higher in other schools. You know, for example, Canterbury pretty much runs on SHSM. The special art programs that they're running are SHSM programs. So their footprint is much higher. So 2% growth in student participation. Our completion rate has grown from 54 to 60 in just a year. Provincial average is 63. And here's some of the sectors. Let's talk about it for a second. No new questions? No new questions. Okay, so I'll keep talking. So arts and culture, manufacturing, horticulture, landscaping. These are all different types of SHSMs you can take at various schools. Environment, construction, health and wellness, hospitality, tourism, business, nonprofit, sport, transportation, information and communications technology, justice, community safety and emergency, and our 14th that we should be adding, aviation aerospace, which will be held at Lisgar and also the Aviation Museum, between the Lisgar and the Aviation Museum. That one's pretty exciting. We've already tested it out, the partnership between the two buildings, and it's pretty cool. I visited at the end of last year. The students were landing helicopters with VR for someone who had been injured. They were doing CPR. They had planes going across, dropping packages, and then figuring out with through math how far it would land, the package would land from being dropped. It was really cool. I'll say arts and culture. Arts and culture is great. We have students right now. Actually, this summer we had they won a international award for their work. If you've been in Saint Laurent Mall, you might have seen brick walls in the middle of the mall. Those brick walls are made out of cardboard, and each cardboard has a nice message to new Canadians. All money went to an organization, and it was so well received that, again, they're winning an award, and they've met the mayor, and the governor general asked to have a specific one-on-one visit with these students, which they loved. Horticulture and landscaping. I think we're the only ones in Ottawa with an horticulture and landscape. I don't think the Catholic Board has this one. We offered Sir Guy. Right now, they have a full greenhouse going. They're planning on selling some of their plants. They have an aquaponics lab. It's huge. We're talking big, long troughs of water with plants floating on top. And those plants can be eaten or maybe they're just plants for showing off. And what happens is there's tanks of fish above, and the sediment for the fish goes down and feeds the plants. Right now, they have a competition going for two sides, see who's going to win, who has the best design. So there's design involved in this. Really cool. Just looking over this right now, my information communications technology at Osgood, they just released their first ever video game through Steam. I think it's called again Little Johnny. I think it's called Little Johnny. If you look it up on Steam, and it's a platform game using high-end 3D animation programs. They believe they have a satellite in the sky with NASA. Other programs are doing video editing on high levels. I got my manufacturing. I should point out some of the trades. Manufacturing has such a high enrollment at Earl of March, for example, that there's no room. Those students are getting scooped up when they graduated for jobs, which is really exciting. And the stuff they're doing is so cool. Their teacher is a Red Seal. Most of these people, I should say, a lot of these teachers are Red Seal. If you don't know what that is, you're not from the trades world, that means they can work anywhere in Canada in their field. So manufacturing, construction, let's see here, hospitality and tourism even. We have chefs right now. I believe all three hospitality tourisms are chefs, Red Seal chefs working there. Justice community. I was just at SRB. They're on their bellies crawling as if there is smoke over their heads because they're doing emergency tests and things like that. Let's see. Any other questions? No questions. Okay. Okay, no questions. I'll keep talking. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to quickly talk about is we are very well funded. So last year, we actually put all this inside of each SHSM classroom. But what we did, each program actually has funding to buy their own things. This is on top of what they were already purchasing every year for their programs. For example, my hospitality and wellness experienced making ice cream at a at a, what was it called? Mary Dairy. And they said, can we do this? And the teacher said, yeah, let's ask Mr. Vandalate me if we can order some ice cream making kits. And they did. So they're making their own ice cream now. And they're really excited about it. So it's really cool what's available. Oh, I think I got one question here. Great. Can you comment on the sports and health and wellness programs? Good questions. So what I'll do here is I'm actually going to escape out of here. And I'm going to go to the OCDS. I'm going to type in just to show you ocdsb.ca/SHSM, SHSM. This takes you to my page. And if we go to SHSM program and location websites, you can see all of them. So you can see which ones are available. So if we go to, let's say, let's go to sports. Where's sports? There we are. So sports, we have Gloucester's High Performance. We also have Woodruff's Sports and Recreation. So this one's very much like an outdoor education and getting people ready for perhaps roles in the Ministry of Environment, things like that. So they're pretty neat. The high performance one at Gloucester is much more about sports. I believe what they're doing at Gloucester, they're actually working with students who will be attending the Special Olympics and getting those students ready. So getting them better, stronger, working on their basketball skills or whatever skills they're going to be doing there. But it's a great opportunity if you think about it for these students who may be going into training, right? Training people how to get healthier. So that's really cool. And the health and wellness one is also really neat. The health and wellness ones really vary, I find. For example, the South Carleton one is almost like a child's program for uh, working in let's say daycare centers and things like that. And it's very much educational and things like that. The lifestyle balance, actually, here's a really good one. SRB's got a nutrition and human performance. This one is very sports heavy as well, and it's got a mixture of the health units as well. Same thing with AY Jackson's. Theirs is health and wellness, nutrition. They're also working with students to create healthier meals. The personal fitness nutrition one at Brookfield is also really cool. Yeah, so there's a lot of options here. So good question, Sharon. How does SHSM apply to Canterbury Arts Program? Oh, great question. It's pretty much runs the arts program at Canterbury. They wouldn't have a lot of the things they have. They wouldn't have the free certs that they offer. They wouldn't have the equipment. A lot of that brand new equipment in there is SHSM that I've only put there in the last few years. So Canterbury Arts Program is a SHSM program. You can go there for arts and not take a SHSM, but you're really missing out on the main thing. Also, the industry and things like that. So I highly recommend if you're going into arts. I know as an artist, I was a graphic designer for 8 years. If I would have known about a SHSM in high school, I 100% would have taken it, seeing the benefits that I'm already seeing students get from being in arts and culture SHSM. Also, my old homeschool, Ridgemont's running a brand new one that's running really well. It's got a high success rate. And theirs is actually, you can actually do culinary arts or dramatic arts or fine arts, which is really cool. So theirs is a little more interdisciplinary. I'm just going to go back to my slideshow really quick because I just want to talk about the benefits of a SHSM slideshow. And you can see here the funding has always been up for quite a while. But what I really wanted to show is the 5-year graduation rates for job skills programs. You can see SHSM is 6.1% higher than the average, or the OEAP programs, or even the dual credit programs. Or if you're looking at grade 11 credit accumulation, check this out. SHSM has the highest. It always has the highest. It has for a long time. So the students don't even realize often that they're accumulating more credits than the other students that they might be going to school with. But it's a fact. You can see here too, the success rates of credit accumulations, completions is always higher. for all four pathways. And I should mention, if I haven't already, SHSM is all four pathways. So you can enter the program. You can maybe have the goal of doing the university strand. You might end up doing the college or workplace. There's so many different ways you can do a SHSM. So, for example, the aerospace one we're looking at, there's a high academic one side of it, and there's a really high mechanical aspect that we're going to be looking at. Let's see here. Lots of field trips, lots of guest speakers, job shadowing in the workplace. These are all things that that can be looked forward to. Reach ahead experiences are a given with SHSM, while other people may have to apply for a reach ahead. If you're SHSM, it's a given. You get the opportunity if you want it for auditing a university class, perhaps, or attending a conference. I just sent a bunch of grade 12s with their teacher just to a high-end video conference where a lot of big industry was there. Paramount, Disney, they're all there, and they were there to see what's new, what's coming up, what jobs are available. Really cool opportunity for that teacher and those students. So like I said, it's 3 or 4 mandatory certifications. They do have to be along the lines of what they're taking. I see another question. How and when would students enroll or join a SHSM? Great question. I like to say, if you're entering grade 9, tell your guidance counselor right away, I'm interested in this SHSM, and they can help you get ready to enter that SHSM. By grade 10, you should usually want to apply by grade 10 because it's a grade 11 and 12 program. This is a good chance to show you guys, everybody, if you wanted to. I'm going to go back to, just to do it again here, ocdsb.ca/SHSM. And if we go to my site again, and if you go to, let's say, actually, let's just do this again, program location. Let's say you are in, I don't know, you're at Ridgemont High School and you want to take an entrepreneurship business SHSM. You can ask for a cross-boundary transfer if that SHSM isn't offered at your school. So to do that, we found schools didn't really like the idea of their students leaving for another school to do something. So we got a way around that. So this is a way to cross-boundary transfer, and that's by going to, you can see just down, where am I here? SHSM supplementary option sheet under what is the registration process. So you can go there, you can fill it out, and what happens is it goes to both schools. They both get the notification that you want to attend that SHSM. The only thing that would stop you from entering that SHSM is if it's already full with their own students. Yeah, and that might be at Canterbury, for example. Theirs is always full with Canterbury students, for example. Good questions. Any other questions before I restart this presentation? I'm gonna go back to Ethan. I'm gonna go slideshow. Okay. I think we got a bunch of new people joining. So I'm going to start in just a minute. Let's restart my presentation. And I encourage you to ask questions. I think I got a new one. Should we apply for cross-boundary transfer now in grade 8 or wait till grade 10? I would wait till grade 10. Otherwise, it'll sit in a queue for many, many years and might actually just get ignored or lost. I've seen that happen. So I would definitely recommend grade 10 applying, or the summer of grade 11 applying. You can also apply early in the semester. There's never really a bad time to apply to SHSM. You can even apply partway through the semester, no problem. Good questions. Okay, since I don't have any new questions, I'm going to start my presentation again. So hello, if you don't know who I am, I'm Curtis Vandalite. I'm the Specialist High Skills Major, SHSM, coordinator for this board. I'm a former teacher of 14 or 15 years at Ridgemont. I was a graphic designer for many years before becoming a teacher, which is sort of my interest in SHSM, the connection between industry and school. So that's what we're going to be looking at today, Specialist High Skills Majors. So students focus on a career path. Oh, I got a bunch of new questions. Okay. Students focus on a career path that matches their skills, interests, and talents while earning their Ontario Secondary Diploma, OSSD. So that's a specialist designation. What's great about this is, of course, OSSD is great to get, but the specialist diploma, the little red seal in the corner, says that you did more than just attend school or just finish tests. It means you were engaged. It means you were interested in industry. Um, and it looks really good on a university or college application, or even definitely if you're applying to a job. And we'll get into that, all the free certifications that come with it. What is the benefit of a SHSM program? Specialist high skills majors programs are ministry approved and allows public school students to, in grade 11 and 12, to customize their education, explore future careers in all post-secondary pathways. So that's all four. That's university, college, work, straight to work, and apprenticeship. So all these are available to any type of student who's interested. I've seen some go from college to university, university to college, just because of their interest. So it's of course a bundle of credits, cooperative education as well. Cooperative education is great because they're not going to be stuck with a gas station attendant or something. They're going to be getting something in their field that they're taking, whatever their SHSM field, if it's art or if it's construction, they'll be in one of those areas learning with people from the industry. They also get additional STEM related sector experiences. So that's science and technology, innovation, creativity, entrepreneurship is really cool. It's where we bring in someone from the industry with a problem, and a real problem in their business. And our students try to solve it. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do. And it's really exciting when they do. I had a nonprofit SHSM who suddenly stopped the conversation, walked out, answered her phone, and came back and told the students, you guys just answered the problem that we could not solve. So it's really exciting. The kids get quite the experience from it. And I should also point out that math and coding opportunities are also there. Students earn an industry recognized certifications and training. So that's automatic. They automatically get it paid for free. There aren't too many programs around here that are offering free things. We're talking free certifications. So WMIS, first aid, things like that. Students gain specific sector partnership experience because they should be part of the program, part of the school, coming in to visit or them visiting the sites. Over 800 students participate in 49 programs in 24 schools in 13 economic sectors, going on 14. And I'll mention that in just a second. This represents a 10% footprint of grade 11 and 12 students, unless you're talking about maybe a Canterbury, where their arts and culture makes up a huge part of their school, and their footprint would be much larger. You can see our completion rate has gone up this year, and overall, you're going to see in a moment, students who are in a SHSM have a higher rate of credit accumulation and completion of their other courses. So here's some of the different types of SHSMs. Okay, so here's a couple. Well, these are all of them, I should say. We have arts and culture, manufacturing, horticulture and landscaping. That's the only one in Ottawa. Environment, construction, health and wellness, hospitality and tourism, business, nonprofit, sport, transportation, information and communication technologies, justice, community safety, and emergency services. And our newest, aviation and aerospace, should be starting next year at Lisgar, which is a partnership between Lisgar and the Aerospace Museum, where they will be, I believe, working on, I believe they've donated an orange helicopter for them to work on. It's pretty neat. So just to give you a sense of what sort of things people are doing in these courses, my arts and cultures are this summer won an international award for the work they did at Saint Laurent, where they built, if you may have been in there, you saw brick walls going around made of cardboard with little messages to new Canadians. All the money from that, including students made product, went towards a great um, organization that helps new Canadian women who are starting out. They got to meet the mayor. Even the governor general asked for a meeting with them, and they got to meet her, and she was really impressed with their work. Uh, so not just that, but you know, I just walking in there to visit them, seeing them with a professional artist explaining to them how to get a bursary. I wish I would have known that as an art student coming out of college. I didn't know that. So it's a lot of interesting thing. Manufacturing at Early March is packed. Kids are pretty much getting jobs right out of high school out of that one. Horticulture and landscaping. Like I said, it's one of the only ones we got. Only ones I think it's the only one in Ottawa, and that's at Sir Guy. So they have a huge, beautiful greenhouse. They're selling plants, they're growing plants. They have they have an aquaponics lab that they're currently redoing. That's huge troughs of water, plants growing on the water, fish above, and the sediment from the fish comes down and feeds the plants. So they're actually have a competition going, trying to design the best um, hydroponic systems. So it's really cool. We're a lot of money in that one. So looking forward to that one. Construction, health and wellness. My information communications technology. One of them just finished their first ever Steam game. If you know what Steam is, the #1 place to purchase video games for PCs. It's called Little Johnny. If you're looking for it, it's a really cool game built with I can't remember the engine that was used, but it's a professional engine used for a lot of games that you're probably playing. Um, I believe a satellite in space that they're tracking. Another one is doing pretty much taking. I believe West Carleton's is very much taking apart computers, putting together, building computers, soldering. I just bought a bunch of soldering material for them, for example. Um, so a lot of cool stuff. Um, a couple questions here. Uh, okay. My son wants to be a software programmer. I would highly recommend the West Carleton ICT. That's really cool. Uh, thank you very much. Oh, you're welcome. Uh, can they do 1 or 2 years? It's a 2-year program, grade 11 and 12. Can you comment on the sports and health and wellness? Yes, the sports ones and the oh, is that an older question? Oh, that's an older question. I don't think that person's here anymore. Oh, how and when would a student join? So I like to say, if you're entering grade 9, let your guidance counselor know in advance if you know what SHSM you want to take. And if your SHSM isn't, if there isn't a SHSM offered that you want to take at your school, you can do cross-boundary transfer. And I'll talk about that in just a second here. So I'm just going to get out of here. I'm going to go to our website. So this is just ocdsb.ca/SHSM. I'll type it in so you can see it. ocdsb.ca/SHSM. So if you can take a look and see which SHSMs we have. So for example, I see someone asking for a path for music. So I would say for me, for my best money, I would probably be looking at arts and culture, either Canterbury's, which does music, or Ridgemont's, which is currently just adding music right now, and it's growing, a growing program, because theirs is culinary arts, visual arts, and the music arts, and drama is very big at Ridgemont. They're a award-winning school for drama. Um, with the Justice Community Safety Emergency Services entail activism? No, actually, it doesn't. It's really focused on if you wanted to be a firefighter or if you wanted to be a nurse. So those are the things they're doing. They're doing a lot of healthcare services and things like that. I saw them. I was just at the school recently, and they're on the ground, crawling on their bellies, pretending there's smoke above their heads. So it's pretty cool, the stuff that they're doing. Um, Activism, a little bit in the nonprofit. That's what you're looking for. Activism. The nonprofits have that in spades. It's unclear if high school has music classes starting in grade 9. Yeah, they have classes in grade 9. I know Ridgemont does. That was my old school. good questions. So yeah, I also wanted to show you too how to do cross boundary. So let's say let's say you want to take a business schism, and you're at I don't know, Longfield Davidson. But you want to take this business schism. You can find out here which one you want to take. Let's say Earl of Marches. And what you can do is if I just press back here, see where it says, where do we go here? There it is. What is the registration process? This button, Schism Supplementary Options Sheet. So you can actually sign up right here without having to even talk to the guidance counselors. What happens is a message goes to both schools letting them know you will be taking one of these schisms if you've been accepted. Like I said, the only real time I see students not get in are maybe Canterbury's, which is very packed with their own students. It's really only if the schisms are already full with their own students, and that's not. I wouldn't say that's normal for all schisms. Like I said, Earl of Marches is full, so you wouldn't be able to get into that one. They're manufacturing, but that's a really easy way to do that. Feel free to ask other questions too. Let's see here. I might as well just go back to this then. So Schism has, we are very well funding compared to most programs. This is just stuff we dropped in last year. Every school now has an Alienware, high-end laptop, Dremel 3D printers, Cricut machines, podcasting equipment, green screens, microbits, and VR gear. This is just extra because when the teachers want something, let's say, I remember I took, some students went on a trip to see what it was like to make ice cream at Mary Dairy, and they came back going, I want to make ice cream. So the teacher asked, and we purchased them ice cream making machines, and that's what they're doing. They're making ice cream in their classes. I took another one. We did the same thing for chocolate making after they visited Hummingbird Chocolate. So it really is often dependent on what the students want. For example, the nonprofit at Glebe is very directed by the students. What is their passion? And that's sort of, they start in the first year finding out what their passions are, and they move forward with that. Does every school have a schism? They don't. Not every school, unfortunately, has a schism. We're trying to spread it. I believe, for example, Bell has no schism, but we're looking to put 2 in right now. I can't talk much about it, but I am working with a transportation teacher with fantastic experience in what he does. So he wants to do essentially small motors as a specialty. So motorbike racing. They're working on motorbikes. They're working on go-karts. They're working on crash derby cars. They're working on. It's a really fun, cool program that we're looking at moving over there. So that's the good question. Not every school does have a schism, but remember, you can always transfer to a school if your school doesn't have the schism you're looking for. Let's see, more questions. What schisms are offered at Earl of March? Really good question. We can show that by going. Well, actually, I'll just tell you. Earl of Marches offers manufacturing, which is very popular because students are getting jobs pretty much out of high school. And the other one is business, a really nice business program where they're working with local businesses. To be clear, schism is something that starts in grade 11 into grade 12. Yes, you're correct. But you can always start in grade 9 by asking your guidance counselor to help you create a pathway towards that schism. And it's great to start asking about in grade 10. What about the OCV secondary? Oh, good question. Are schism programs available there? No, not currently, but they have been asking. Also, remember, you can cross boundary. So OCV students could say, I would like to attend a schism at a different school. And sometimes there's options to stay as an OCV student. And what you do is you just go to the school for the special events. So you might be on record as a schism student there. You're actually an OCV student, and you just go there for, if you're doing maybe first aid training that day, you should probably go in and get that free training. So that's sort of the thing that we're looking at. Great questions, everybody. What schisms are offered at South Carleton? South Carleton has a lot. They believe they have a let's look it up. Oops, wrong button. So again, you can check out what they have here, or you can also check out the school's website. I'm just trying to remember here. Do I have it listed? South Carleton's SHSMs are, here they are. Where's, what was the school again you asked me about? It was South Carleton. Okay, here we are. So South Carleton has a lot. They have health and wellness, manufacturing, transportation, and ICT. So South Carleton has an information communication technology as well. Is there cross-boundary transportation provided? Excellent question, Megan. So there is through the school that you're going to be attending. So you always remain at your home school. Let's say you're at Ridgemont High School, but you're going to be attending the business SHSM at Earl of March. You stay as a student, you get to graduate even at Ridgemont with your friends, but on record, you're attending a SHSM at Earl of March. So what you do is Earl of March ends up providing you a bus pass because it's so far. And that's how it works. Great questions, everybody. Let's see here. Did I get through all my slides? I didn't get through all my slides. So I'm going to go back. If anybody has questions, feel free to type them in. I'll answer. But I would like to show the growth of SHSM. So the growth of SHSM shows how popular it is throughout the province, how the funding has kept up with the amount of students taking it. You can see students' attendance are really high in these courses. We have higher rates of completion. Graduation rates are always higher. They also, you can see here, credit accumulation is always higher. Students, they don't even realize it, but they end up taking more credits than the average student. It's just how it ends up working out. It's factual across the province. Biggest impact on credit completion rate for students in college and workplace courses. You can see here that it's, again, SHSM students are always coming out on top. See here. Oh, is that another question? Nope, no questions. Okay. I also like to point out, well, these are the things that you'll have to get. 4 major credits. That includes English, math, other, depending on what type of SHSM you're taking, 2 co-op credits, and this includes all pathways, like I said, university, college, workplace, or apprenticeship. Yeah, I like to just also point out that field trips, guest speakers, job shadowing, all this stuff takes place pretty much in most SHSMs. They should be taking place in all SHSMs. Reach ahead opportunities are a given to SHSM students, so they don't have to apply. They'll have to apply to it, but they get a spot above other students because they're in a SHSM. So that might be auditing a college class or a lecture, attending campus tours, completion of one or more ministry approved dual credits. A lot of our students, pretty much most SHSMs end up visiting a college and a university at some point with their class. Oh, and I see there might be more questions. Can you clarify what it means to stay at your home school but still be in a SHSM? Sure. So what that means, so sorry, I'll read the whole question. Can you clarify what it means to stay at your home school but still be in a SHSM at another school? So what that means is what we found is students want to take a SHSM, but most of the time are very attached to their friends at their old school. And they want to graduate with their friends, not quite the students that they might be doing a SHSM with. So they stay registered at their home school, but they'll be attending the SHSM at a different school every day, pretty regularly, unless you have an understanding with the school. So, for example, if you're an online school student, you might be able to talk to the SHSM lead and say, "Listen, I'm an online student. I don't go to school regularly, but I want to be part of the SHSM." And what you might end up doing is just going there for the certifications and when special events happen, and you would get to continue doing your studies online. So that's just an example of something I've done for a student in the past. Let's see here. Oh, we got more questions. Fantastic. Okay, I got to wrap up soon. I see you got a little note. So I'll just go to quickly answer this final question. Oh, well, you're welcome. Thanks, everybody. And thanks for joining. My name is Curtis Vandalite. I'm happy to answer questions. Your guidance counselors can answer questions about this. Don't forget about our OCSB.ca website /SISM. Um, Again, if I could do it all over again, I would 100% be in a SHSM. And that's just not me just talking because I represent the program. I definitely would after I've seen the things that students are doing in their SISM courses, the passion that them and their teachers have. Like I said, most SHSM teachers are very passionate and probably have red seals, as in they're coming from the industry. So really cool stuff. Any other last questions before I go? Okay, great. Well, I want to say thank you to everybody who joined. And I guess I hope to see you in a system sometime. Thank you.